What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Today we're bringing a special guest. We've got a good friend of mine, Victor Lawwill, and of course Tim Sisler. He's with us as well. We wanted to show you and share with you exactly what Victor is doing for the community here in Springfield. He's doing amazing things, and we want to show you a quick video of the facility and where they're operating from right now. So take a look at this video, see what you think. All right, Victor, so we're here, brother. Welcome.
Good to be here, guys. Good to be with you and Tim.
First time you're doing a podcast here?
For you guys, yeah, I do some on my own, some live videos on my own Facebook page. So,
okay.
But normally, this is the first time I've been interviewed on a Facebook page by two nice-looking young men doing the work that you guys do. So I appreciate it.
Right on. What do you think of Eric's studio here?
It's wonderful. Eric Motto, great guy, super guy. If you guys need any media needs, go check this guy out. He's thebomb.com.
Freaking rock star. Well, let's get started. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing? And
obviously my name is Victor Lawwill. I pastor Dream City Church here in Springfield, Ohio. My wife and I moved here from Dayton about 5 years ago. We came in to pastor another church, which is called The Summit. It was out in German Township about a year ago. We kind of felt the leading of the Lord to move into the city of Springfield. We had kind of had it on our heart. We've always had a passion for outreach and various forms of outreach, and we felt like our greatest needs we weren't being able to connect with the group of people that we needed to connect with and who God called us to kind of minister to on a regular basis, being so disconnected from the city structure. So we prayed about it. God opened some doors. Somebody actually gave us a building, and we'll get into that conversation. But we moved to 705 Linden Avenue, and that's where the church is, and the ministry dynamic works from there. And we're hoping that at some point we can have multiple buildings in that community where we're helping out the entire that entire neighborhood and hopefully the entire city of Springfield.
Gotcha. So in that neighborhood, what type of impact are you looking to have, and what type of impact do you think you're having already?
So to answer your first question, the impact we're hoping to have is we notice a lot of poverty in that neighborhood, and a lot of hurting people, a lot of prostitution, a lot of drug movement over there. Obviously, we're not going to be able to solve all the problems.
Sure.
And you'd like to being in kind of have that superhero badge and be able to take care of everything, but it's just not something that one group of people could do. But when you start making progressive changes and people start seeing that, matter of fact, it was kind of, I tell everybody this story. We moved there in July, and the first weekend we were there, we had a community cleanup where the city of Springfield allowed us to use some of their tools and stuff. They actually brought a trailer over, dropped it off, and we just went from neighbor to neighbor, and we cut grass, we picked up trash, we put it in the dumpster, and we cleaned our property up. And we noticed progressively people have just been, over the last couple of months, cleaning their properties up, people residing garages, painting houses, picking up trash, cutting vacant lots. And it's inevitable when you do things like that. It becomes kind of tangible. People want to take ownership, and they, when your stuff looks nice, they want their stuff to look nice. So that's kind of one thing that we're seeing change already.
Well, no, you talked about the providing meals. You know, you provide a lot of meals.
We do, and a lot of that was birthed out of this most recent virus coming. Ourselves and Jackie Mounts, who runs Hope, it's a nonprofit here in town that reaches at-risk kids and really just any students. She works in the jails. She has a program called The Rock that operates out of the basement of our church right now. It's a teen center. Her and Matt Perrin, they probably see between 40 and 60 kids through the week that they're being able to minister to, help, get assistance, education, stuff like that. It's a great program, and if you want to support another nonprofit, they're great. But she came to me and said, we're gonna have 3 weeks. This is at the beginning of the coronavirus. We thought, we're gonna have 3 weeks where kids are gonna be out of school, and they're not gonna have lunches and they're not gonna have breakfast. What can we do to help them? So we decided to start a lunch program. Well, that turned into lunch and dinner, and it turned into what we're looking at now, about 1,000 meals a week.
Wow.
That we're feeding everyone in the community, not just kids, but everybody in that community. Normally start about 4:00 Monday on a Monday afternoon, and by 4:15, all the hot meals are gone, and we're usually handing out sack lunches at that point. So, but we do 4 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday, and we're seeing, like I said, about 1,000 families a week reached.
That is beautiful. That is a wonderful thing.
Well, it really is the hands of
how does
God.
somebody help out? How does somebody donate? How does somebody give to that organization?
That's a good question. There's multiple ways you can do that. So the first way you can do it is if you want to volunteer, just you can give me a call or give Jackie a call. You can go on either of our Facebook pages, message us on Facebook, or get on our Facebook pages and call us on the church phone or on the Hope line, and just call and we'll get you set up to come volunteer. We're working with the health department, following the protocols that they've asked us to follow. They're behind what we're doing, and just let me say this: this is not necessarily a church thing. This is a community thing.
Absolutely,
we're helping our entire community out, and we've had different people from, just to mention a few churches like Fellowship Church, Grace Lutheran, First Christian. Some of these churches have reached out, and they've even taken on Maiden Lane Church God has. They've actually donated money or donated their time, donated their services to come out and help and benefit. So this has been a community-wide project. It's kind of gained some momentum, and now we're working forward to make this a long-term thing instead of just a short-term fix. This is a long-term solution. So if you want to get involved as far as helping out, obviously give us a call or message us. But if you want to donate, you can actually get on Hope's Facebook page, or you can get on the Givelify app. You can download the Givelify app and look up Dream City Ministries, and you can give directly to the feeding program on those sites. Make your checks payable to Hope Ministries, and you can donate that way. And we've had a great, and that's the great thing about it. This hasn't been a lot of times you think, well, this is church people, it's Christianity. It's really not, man. We have had people from every walk of life put checks in our hand to help people out, and that's really what it's about today. This is about humanity and being good to your brother. And we in a day and age where we see so much hate and evil in the world, we're seeing a lot of people love their brother, like Jesus loved us.
That's amazing. Just bouncing off of what you were talking about, that neighborhood cleanup that you already did. In Maiden Lane Church of God, we do a cleanup. We just go out into the community. We're the hands and feet of Jesus. So when is the next one that you have planned as far as the cleanup? Maybe we could partner up and get involved.
Absolutely,
do something for the community together.
We normally do one in the early spring, but because of obviously all the things that are going on right now, we've kind of had to back that off. So we're looking hopefully in the next 4 to 6 weeks to do another cleanup program. So we'll be happy to partner with yourself, Arthur, and any other churches that want to come out and just come out and do a little yard work. Really what we're doing, we're cutting grass, we're picking up trash. And you say, what does that mean to somebody? You have no idea what it means to somebody that can't afford to get. I remember the last one we did, this couple, they had 8 mattresses laying behind their house and they couldn't get rid of them. The trash wouldn't pick them up. They brought them down to the dumpster, and like, you don't know how much of a blessing this is. That's just to get rid of 8 trashy mattresses. So it's just weird how that kind of stuff translates to people, to a value to people. So we'll be doing one of those and be happy. We'll keep you guys connected on Facebook on when we're going to do that, and maybe we can do a video and let everybody know what we're doing and when we're doing it.
Fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about the community center that you guys are working on right now, and what exactly that's going to be about?
Yeah, that's kind of our prize pig to be to kind of to talk in fair terms. We were given about a year and a half ago. I got a phone call from another nonprofit in town, and they had heard that my wife and I were considering a move and what we were thinking about, and they came to us, and they actually knew we were looking at church buildings, and they said, we know what your heart is. Would you be interested in using this building, which is the building right across the street? It's actually got a Selma Road address, but it's right across the street from our church, the current location we're in having church right now. It used to be the old El Papagayo's Mexican restaurant, and it was for a long time. And they said, would you like to use it and use the space for free? And we were like, yeah, that'd be fantastic. We'd love to, because we really saw potential to be able to help the community out of that building. We kind of had a few roadblocks happen, some things didn't pan out, and kind of things started falling apart, and just started praying and asking God, what His vision was for us in this. And then a couple weeks later, the board of this organization called us back and said, listen, how would you like to have the building? And I was like, what do you mean have the building? Like, we want to give you this building. And I'm like, give it to me. Like, I would own it. It's mine. They're like, yeah. And so they said the Lord told them to give it to us. So we took it, and we have big plans for it. We're in the middle of a remodel project right now. Obviously, this is not a scheme to raise money or anything like that. But if anybody's interested in donating money to a center that's going to effectively reach this community, we're going to be doing work with drug addicts, with prostitutes. We're going to be doing work with touching kids inside the children inside the community. We're going to be doing work with. We have right now the part of the building that's usable. We're actually using it as to donate hygiene products out of. And we're giving away. People donate clothes and food. We give them away as soon as they come in. So it's really a hub for everything in that community. And somebody asked me, how can you do that? We're going to do as much as we can to help that community, because we feel like there's been so much neglect that if we can just be a little bit effective, then we're doing a huge part and making a difference in that community. And that's what those people want. They just want to be able to dream again. And that's the reason that we call our ministry Dream City Ministries, is because the Lord spoke to me in a dream, and He said, I'm tired of people in this neighborhood living in a nightmare. He said, I want to let them dream again. And I want that community, I want Springfield to feel like they can dream again, like they can have hope, like there's more to life than just living in an impoverished state. You can have what you want when you want it, and there are people out there that are willing to help you provide it and get to where you need.
I got freaking goosebumps just hearing that. It's amazing.
That's good, man.
Amen. Can you talk a little bit about the new project that you guys are working on as well? Basketball court, I believe that. How that came to be?
So this is an amazing story. The basketball court that so when we got the property, we partner our church partners with Jackie Mounts and Hope Ministries, and Jackie's been in this community for years, and she is a staple, probably one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met on the face of the planet. Literally, she is just a world changer, and she just has a heart for the young people and the youth of Springfield. It's just something that's in her DNA. Like she just loves to help them out, and she has her. A lot of people don't know this. Jackie was a high recruit. Set records at Greenland High School for basketball. Like, she went 4 years at Murray State, started all 4 years, got drafted even into, at the time, what was like a WNBA, and God called her back to the city away from all that so she can make an effective difference. And so Jackie's an executive pastor at our church, and she also runs Hope Ministries, and she's just told me about this basketball court she's had a vision for years, because she always says, like, this community always gets the second best. Like, that's what her big thing is. She's like, I don't want everybody to get, and that's something that we kind of, one of our mantras is, we don't want to give away used clothes. We don't want to give you away. We want to give these people good stuff. And we want to give people good stuff. We don't want to give them, have a food drive and all you get is green beans and beets. Bring the good stuff. Don't just bring the stuff out of you. Don't just bring the stuff that's been in your cabinet for 10 months. So we talked and just had, through a series of events, we got possession of the property across the street, and she's like, Pastor, could we use that for the basketball court? I said, you know what? Let's make it all legal. So we donated the land to Hope for them to put a state-of-the-art basketball program in. There was another church in the city who took up an offering and paid for the entire basketball facility. This other church, I was First Christian, they took up their Happy Birthday Jesus love offering, and they gave that to Hope. And now there's going to be a state-of-the-art basketball court right there for those kids in that community. And it's not about our church, it's not about their church. It's about the kingdom and seeing these kids. And I'm talking like this is going to be a good basketball court. There's going to be solar lights, 10-foot fences, state-of-the-art Gorilla basketball rims. I mean, nice. It's going to be painted. It's going to have all the lines. It's also going to have a badminton and a volleyball setup. So, I mean, this is not just going to be some half-cocked, let's just put something up here. This is a genuine labor of love, and really all started from Pastor Jackie's heart and what God put in her. And I commend her and I applaud her. I applaud First Christian for taking what they would normally give in their missions offering and giving it to the city. I applaud Dream City Church for the efforts that they've done to donate their property, to donate things to. And so it's just a community of believers coming together and saying, okay, how can we make a difference? Well, here's how you make difference. You take big steps forward and you let people know that they're not second best, but you want the best for them.
What's the completion date looking like?
Well, the completion date was going to be because every year Hope has a basketball program and they have a basketball camp, and it was going to be for the first week of June. And it's still on par, I think, for the first week of June, of maybe a little later than that. But they're moving right along. They've already got the fence lining up. They've got the concrete poured. It's super good. I mean, we're right on projection to be done at the beginning of summer. So there'll be a brand new state-of-the-art basketball court ready for this summer. I know that a lot of baseball leagues are canceling and stuff, and there's a lot of summer programs going to be happening. But listen, that basketball court will be open. So young men that are out there that want a place to come ball out, here's your place to come shoot some hoops. And there's going to be actually a secondary court there too. It won't be as high end as the first one, but it's still going to be 2 hoops on the other end of the property too. So it's definitely a God thing that he did this right in the middle of. He's making miracles where people thought it was a mess.
That's amazing. Can you just talk about maybe some partnerships that you guys are looking for as far as nonprofits that you said that you can partner with? And
definitely. Dream City Church on its own, we have our own kind of our own DNA and who we are, and that's fine. We are doing the outwardness of Dream City Ministries as a conglomerate to help out our entire community. So when I say Dream City Ministries, Dream City Church is included in that, but it's not just Dream City Church. And so what we're looking for is we're looking for donors, obviously financial donors. That's always great. We need about $25,000 to finish the rehab of the inside of the community center to get it done. We'd like to get it done before the end of summer so we can have it ready for the winter, for next winter, and also be able to be a community resource center going into the end of the school year. So financial donors, if you have a skill trade, if you're willing to donate your time to come do some electrical work or some plumbing, if you want to do that, please get a hold of me. Let me know to give your time. Drywall work, we need all that done. So these are kind of things that we're looking for. And then if you just want to come and pull weeds, or you want to come paint, if you got a paintbrush and a paint roller, and like, hey, listen, I can't do anything else, but I can paint. Come on down. We'll put you to work. And we just anyone that wants to help really can come help.
Awesome. Well, we covered a lot. Anything else that you want to add?
No, we're just super passionate about what God is doing and what we feel is our neck of the woods in our part of the city. But we really want to touch the entire city through what we're doing. We eventually want to multiple properties over there. Where my vision is for a community resource center, a community outreach center, and a community teen center where we can have basketball courts and volleyball courts, and we want to put a coffee shop over in that part of town for people that I want them to feel like they're as important as everybody else. I want them to feel like there's no separation between that part of town and the best part of town, or what you would consider. Because in my opinion, that is the best part of town. Those people are salt of the earth. They're hardworking. They don't get some of those moms over there are working 2 and 3 jobs to keep their families going. Some of them dads over there have lost their jobs doing this, and they're just trying their best to make it. So our vision is to make those people feel like, hey, listen, this is our part of town, and there's nothing wrong with driving down Selma Avenue. There's nothing wrong with driving down Linden Avenue. There's nothing wrong with turning down Tibbetts or York. It's a good part of town, and don't let that bad rap of, well, there's shootings over there. Listen, bad stuff happens everywhere. We just don't hear about it. And, maybe if we covered all the things right, maybe if we covered everything equally, we would see that instead of just covering what we want to cover. So I just want everybody to understand that's a great part of town. Those are great people, and we're looking to make a difference over there for them.
Well, that's why we had this podcast today, so we can cover a little bit of good news.
I appreciate it.
Something good that's coming to the community.
You're definitely a leader, and we definitely appreciate you being in Springfield. You're definitely a blessing to Springfield.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Always.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Tune in next time.